What's up guys, Kuroo here, and today with a new video. And in today's video I wanted to make an in-depth analysis for the HINAMATSURI banner, or otherwise called the Wind banner. And yeah, I actually thought it would be a bad banner, but after a while I changed my opinion and I'm going to tell you guys why. So first let's take a look at the banner. It's a comeback 5-star upgradable HINAMATSURI characters banner, so if you already have one of those characters you can actually make them into 5-star. And I'm going to tell you guys which I would recommend to make into a 5-star if you want to use your crystals and already have like all 3 of these characters. So SS3 attack speed up, and normal triggers SS switches also trigger SS3 if it's a 5-star character, which is a really good skill. So let's go into a little bit more details. First up, it's a step up scout, which means the first step is 50% off, and step 3 has the double the chance of getting a 5-star, and after this it goes back to step 1 and so on. And yeah, let's take a look at the details. So of course these details are only for 5-star character, or if you make them into 5-star. So we have Flower Peach Baby Silica, elegant blooming, shoots a flower-like shockwave after continuous attacks, also enhances the speed. Element Wind increases damage 5% against earth elemental enemies. So about this banner, they don't have leader skill, so if you just started out with the game, I don't recommend you scouting on this banner. You need to have the base or at least a 5-star Wind character with leader skill of 6% increase. Of course they will later, I'm most likely sure that they're going to bring out the 10% leader skill for the next Wind banner, but yeah, for now, if you don't have any leader skill characters, this banner might not be the right one for you. And they also have the combination with elements. So if you have a Wind elemental combination partner, then you will do 5 damage bonus damage against earth elemental enemies, which is overall pretty good. Of course you can't compare it to the 10% if you have like a combination partner or the right weapon type, which is a little bit sad, but of course these are upgradable 4-star characters, so you can't have everything, I guess. And next up we have Early Spring Dance Argo. SS3 is called Stormy Bloom, enhanced speed and blows a strong wind by the flute. Same combination skill as Silica. And lastly we have Pudding rather than Praise Premiere. Unintended rolling, performs a spinning slash with spills, which spills here hidden desserts, enhances speed by eating the dessert. And yeah, let's take a closer look at these characters. Of course they were supposed to be limited last year, but of course we get the same badge this year again. I guess we start with Silica, going a little bit over the auto attacks and stuff like this. So dagger units always have the highest or one of the highest auto attack speeds, but their MP regeneration per hit isn't that high, so keep that in mind. But still pretty good. And SS1 Swift Trick, as most, if not all dagger units have. Personally not the biggest fan of Swift Trick, just because I would have wished if you ended on the other side and then come back. And then we have Rapid Spin. I also don't like Rapid Spin for dagger units, but then again nobody would actually care about these abilities. And lastly we have her SS3 called Elegant Blooming +2, because it got upgraded twice. As you can see, you can only hit it from if you're in a straight line, but there's quite a bit of distance you can teleport. And of course you can also turn off the auto approach and teleport a little bit further, which is pretty nice. And yeah, overall you also do quite the hits. It's pretty good. And of course you get your speed buff, attack speed buff, and movement speed buff, and and speed buff overall. And then we have Argo, so sword unit. I think that's the only 4-star or 5-star Argo that we have. Auto attacks aren't that great, but they feel a little bit faster than male sword unit auto attacks. And SS1 is Orbital Strike. SS2 is called Vertical Square. I really don't like Vertical Square, it's slow. And yeah, SS3 Stormy Bloom +2. So you can actually do it from different angles. It's a little bit like Alice version 1 SS3, and then it goes into like the teleportation part, which is pretty decent, pretty good. And the only downside is that this SS3 takes quite long. That's yeah, not the time you actually wanted to have. And lastly we have Premier. Alt-attack speed, pretty decent. SS1 Shooting Star, SS2 Neutron, still I don't like Neutron. And then we have our SS3 Unintended Rolling, which is a teleportation behind the enemy and then you just slap him or spill your dessert on them, which is a nice little SS3 to be honest. So I think we should take a little bit of the damage calculation now to decide which of these characters is worth it and which not. So let me just quickly switch the screen. Of course this is Ratsounds damage calculator. I will leave a link down in the description. Pretty handy tool if you want to check it out for yourself. And first up we want to go to the Earth Elemental symbol as we are Wind Element and want to see which characters deal the most damage against them. So I'm already in the 5-star slot. As you can see, of course we have the sports banner first, but then we have Argo and Silica on 3rd and 4th spot, which honestly is pretty good regarding the age of these characters. And yeah, as you can see, the skill duration of Argo is 2.85 seconds, which is pretty bad. It's just, it takes forever. And the combination skill time is 1.6, but then again she has pretty high damage. And honestly, it's probably not worth it to make her a 5-star if you have already has a 4-star or to scout for her specifically, just because SS3 takes forever and you really don't want it, especially in ranking events. And next up we have Silica. So that's actually the character which made me change my mind about this banner. And currently I'm also thinking of I actually want to battle on this banner just because of Silica. I'll tell you guys in a bit. So her skill duration is 2.2 seconds if you use it alone, so that's not that fast, but if you use it as a combination skill, it's 0.7 seconds, which is really fast. There are hardly any SS3s or SS3 combinations that are faster than that, so you can use her or you do a parry, go into her and then into another character, which makes it really good. And her damage, as you can see, 4th spot, she will be pretty good for ranking events. In my opinion, I will say she is pretty good for the future. And of course they all have like the normal switches trigger SS3 skill, which is another reason why you want to maybe scout on this banner. On this side Argo is a little bit better than Silica, just because Argo can do like ranged start off for SS3, and Silica on the other side will go on the backside of the enemy, so you can almost dodge all the attacks with those characters, which is pretty nice. And last we have Premier. Where actually is Premier? Okay, Premier is a little bit further down here. She's on spot 15, which is still not that bad. And yeah, skill duration is 1.9 seconds and combination skill is actually also 0.71. So her combination is also really fast if you use it as a combination partner. The only downside, as I already said, is definitely her damage is a little bit weaker. Yeah, it's on the weaker side, but you can do, as I said, the fast combinations, which makes it viable again. So if you want to scout on this banner, or should you scout on this banner, as I already said, if you already have like a good base of characters, then, or if you have at least one wind leader unit, then definitely go for this banner. If you already have like a lot of wind units, then you probably don't need this banner. But overall this banner is pretty good, especially Silica and Premier. Argo, of course she's the only Argo character, so if you ever want to have a good 4-star, 5-star Argo character, that's probably your only chance you will ever get. I'm not sure if we're ever going to get another Argo or not. Yeah, but Silica, Premier, really good units, especially for future ranking events. Now with the attack speed up and the normal switch SS3 trigger, they're pretty good. Now we can take a close look at the weapons. So the weapons on the other hand are pretty outdated, even if they make it into +1. Personally, I don't think it's worth it. So attack 10% and HP required -10%. At least it's not elemental restricted, but still the weapons not really worth it. I mean, on the other side, it's a free weapon banner for wind weapons, so if you ever want to go for rarity 5 wind weapons, this might be a good chance to go, but the weapons are still outdated. And crit damage +10% if you go to 20+ hit combos. You can just compare it. For example, the start here is 1414 attack. I'm just going to compare the attack stats. Of course, the crit stats may also be good, but overall I think just rare attack is way better. Or let's just compare the rapier, which is 1406 attack. For example, this Uno one has 1600. As you can see, it's almost 200 damage difference. Of course, we can also say the same about the crit stats. Oh, it's 300 crit, but in my experience, crit damage isn't that important, so these weapons aren't the best you will ever see. But the characters, on the other hand, Silica and Premier, really strong units. Argo, I mean, it's just Argo. I mean, you can't argue if you get Argo. Maybe she will bring you like Amphibious Scouts, who knows. But yeah guys, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, then please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, as it helps me out a lot. Also press the bell button, then you won't miss any new videos I upload. And yeah, I hope you guys like it. I will also put down the link for my other analysis, which I just did on the on this banner, which is called Reawakened Memories. So if you want to check that out, definitely make sure to check it out. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.